I've been on a raw vegan journey for about 12 years now, high raw and fully raw as well. And I've had incredible transformation, weight loss transformation, lost 70 pounds. Knew I was not put on this planet to suffer. I knew it's our birthright to be healthy. I just knew there is a way to live better, and seeing all these healthy people with healthy bodies, I was like, there must be a way. How do they do it? 12, 13 years ago when I came across veganism and raw veganism, and that just clicked for me right away. I knew that was the way, that I'm on this journey. So, and I look better each year, and I do feel better every year. So I'm excited.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have my next guest. This is Katarina. Katarina, hello. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Paul. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to have a chat with you today.
Yes. Katarina, we're going to get into your background and your lifestyle today. But before we do that, can you briefly introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Katarina. We just had a chat about how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's Katarina. So I grew up in Slovakia, and I've been on a raw vegan journey for about 12 years now, high raw and fully raw as well. And I've had incredible transformation, weight loss transformation, lost 70 pounds. And that and also my passion for nutrition and psychology has led me to become detox coach and integrative trauma coach as well. And now I help others transform their bodies and physical, emotional, and mental bodies to achieve results they want as well.
Wow. Amazing. So growing up in Slovakia, how was your diet growing up?
Slovakia, very heavy food in there, Slovakia. So, and I grew up in a very carnivore family on a farm, actually. So, making everything for ourselves from scratch, mostly animal based. And I was very sick. I was very sick and very overweight, bullied. I had digestive issues, liver issues, skin issues, immune system issues, constantly sick. The sickest child in the family, probably because I'm the most sensitive one there. So, and I have 4 siblings. It was, we are a big family. So, and my eating was, well, probably better than McDonald's, a processed food, right? Living on the farm, but still a lot of animal products and heavy, and a lot of junk as well, I have to say. So I was sick, and that didn't go well. It led me to make a change when I was 17, but it was kind of like a change motivated by self-hate. I shamed myself into that change and forced myself into it because I hated myself so much. So I made a change and lost quite a bit of weight and did get a little healthier, but I gained it all back because it was just not sustainable. I wasn't dealing with the root cause of the issues that I had. So I gained it all back, and all my sicknesses came back. And I have to say, having lean body for a while just felt so good. I loved it so much, and I felt so disappointed, so helpless. I thought having a lean body is just not meant for me. I felt really helpless, but I didn't give up. So that was good. I didn't give up, and I kept searching, kept looking for answers, and I really wanted to figure out, why can I just be healthy? And I knew I was not put on this planet to suffer. I knew it's our birthright to be healthy. So this just didn't make sense. Everybody, what everyone was telling me, and the world I lived in was telling me that, oh, you're normal, it's just fine, that's the way Jesus made you, and that's the way you are, right? But I knew this just wasn't right, and I really wanted to thrive. I wanted to be healthy, feel good, and look good. So I didn't give up. I was looking for answers, and I came across veganism. The protein question made me think of what we actually need, what health means, and how much protein do we need. Actually, I thought fitness industry meant being healthy, and that meant health industry, but that's not the case. Now we know it's not that we need a lot of protein. And I came across vegans having a lot of muscles, and I was like, wow, how is that possible? If I don't have to eat all of this, I can just eat plants. I was very intuitive, so I knew it was the right way. It felt really right. So yeah, I came across veganism, and that was great. That was actually already a huge step forward for me.
I have a bunch of questions about that, but before that, I want to go back to your childhood. So
Okay.
when you were growing up to you were 17, you said you were sick a lot. I know you didn't feel well, but have you ever been diagnosed at that point with any illness by a doctor at that point?
Well, there was in Slovakia, you kind of had to carry your medical file with yourself, and it was a lot of papers. It was this thick. It was really big. So, the thing is, no one could really tell me what actually is going on with me. I was just constantly sick, and it just was thrown around like a potato from doctor to doctor. So I don't know. Maybe it's because the medicine there is, or just like the doctor world is not really as I don't know. I wasn't diagnosed with anything specific, but I was constantly sick and known by everybody as the sickest child in the family and a pretty sick person. So I
Okay.
wasn't really
So
diagnosed.
at 17, you said you were overweight and then you started to lose weight. Do you remember at 17 how tall you were and how much you weighed?
Oh yeah. So I was over 200 pounds, 204 the last time I weighed myself, but I didn't weigh myself often, so it probably was even more than that. So I was 204 pounds, and tall. I'm 5'7", so I'm pretty tall, but still, 200 pounds is quite a lot. So
Sure. That was
yeah,
at 17.
that was at 17.
Okay, so you started to look to lose weight. You weren't looking at health at all. You were just trying to look to lose weight. At 17, what did you do to lose the weight? You just reduced the food, or did you change the food? What did you do at 17 to lose the weight?
Yeah, well, as a 17, you look at the package and it's marked healthy, so you eat it, right? I didn't really read the labels, or yeah, I wasn't really sure what to eat, so I was trying to reduce the amount of the food and try to eat healthily. But I was exercising so much it was not healthy. So probably that made me lose weight a lot as well. Um, yeah, so not really healthy, probably a little bit healthier, but still carnivore. And
So what
um,
was your motivation at 17? Was it that you were just sick and tired of feeling sick, or did you just want to look better because you were becoming a young woman in the world? What was your motivation at 17 to lose the weight?
definitely sick and tired. I didn't go vegan for animals like other people. Definitely, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired and not looking good, bullied all the time, hating myself. I just knew there is a way to live better. And seeing all these healthy people with healthy bodies, I was like, there must be a way. How do they do it?
Sure,
So
sure. So then you kept the weight off for a little while, and then how old were you when you put the weight back on?
it was immediately after. Actually, I lost it really fast in a few months during the school break.
What did you get
And
down to? How much did you lose at that point? What did you get down to?
that was probably 140 or something like that. So I lost quite a bit, see, over
Okay,
60 or
60
something like
pounds.
that. So yeah, I lost a lot of weight, and it felt amazing. But I went back to school, and with all the stress and not knowing how to, I didn't change anything. I was just actually dealing with the not dealing really, just removing the symptoms, kind of, mopping the water off the floor while having water pouring down the faucet. I wasn't dealing with water pouring down the faucet,
Sure.
just mopping the water off the floor with exercising and not dealing with the cause. So, um, yeah, I gained it all back when I went back to school. and that was very heartbreaking again.
Sure. And then, how old were you when you finished the school?
I think because of the health issues, I had to go 1 year longer, so that was in 19, I think, something like that. And yeah, at that time I was already um, gaining weight and had more weight again, and felt sick again, and everything was just
Okay.
not
So at
really
that point, then you're like, now I got to do this the right way. So how old were you when you started to do that?
I don't know if it was the right way, but I was starting looking for answers. Yes, and I was um, I was about 20, 21, I would say. Yeah, 12, 13 years ago when I came across veganism and raw veganism, and that just clicked for me right away. I knew that was the way. I was very excited to know what to eat. So I did that, and I started with like half portions, with half cooked, half raw, and then gradually felt better about eating all raw, and I knew it was okay and it was good. Some people have that fear that if they eat all raw they're gonna miss something or like that, but I did not have that fear, so I went all in.
So you started to see these vegans that had muscles. It got you interested in eating a vegan diet. You eating the vegan diet and doing great. Then you find out about the raw food diet. How'd you first hear about the raw food diet?
How did I what?
How did you first hear about the raw food diet?
How did I hear about raw food diet? Well, 12 years ago, internet was a baby, so well, I remember my parents, watching news and all that on the TV. I was on my laptop watching YouTube and looking for people who have what I want, So I remember following Fully Raw Christina and Freely, the Banana Girl, and all these people who ate raw and were online, showing results
Sure.
and inspiring others. So I got into that and I got sucked into it, and I wanted to be like that, eat like that, and I did. So I ate high raw and mostly raw, but the thing was, um, and I was learning a lot about raw veganism, why it's good, and the feeling of feeling light after eating raw meal. That was the most motivating thing for me, the light feeling, not being weighed down by cooked food. And I was learning about the digestive leukocytosis that happens after with eating cooked food, and then those pictures of food, life force, energy taken away after cooking. So all of that made sense. The thing is, I was overeating. I just kept overeating, and I couldn't figure out a way to eat less. So I knew I was eating good things. I knew what to eat, but why I was eating, I was not figuring out. So that was the next step, kind of on my journey. And after that, I came across Lauren Lockman's videos on YouTube, and I really wanted to go there to Costa Rica and do the water fast, 21-day water fast. So I did in 2015. I worked a couple years to save up money for that. And I did. I went, did the water fast. It was great for mentally recognizing what hunger means, actually, because the body wasn't hungry after a couple, 2, 3 days. But all this thought about food and what we think hunger is, actually, that made me realize, like, wow, okay, hunger is not really what I think hunger is.
How
So
long did you fast for?
21 days. I think actually it was 22 because the day before I came there, I didn't eat as well. So 22 days. And I stayed there for a couple more months to volunteer. So it was a great experience after that as well.
Okay. So how tall are you now and how much do you weigh?
I'm still 5'7". Actually, 5'8" almost. I don't know why. I think I grew up a little bit. And right now I'm 133 pounds. So like 71 pounds lower than that. But during that water fast, I didn't lose that much weight actually. So it was a great mental experience for me, for sure.
Sure.
Um, but like eating their perfect foods in a little perfect heaven, not influenced by the world. It's very easy to eat healthy in a healthy environment. But when I went back to the world, which is very unhealthy, it's really hard to be healthy in an unhealthy world. So I just kept eating too much and eating still very high raw because I loved the feeling and I knew what to eat, but I kept overeating. So my weight wasn't really good still, but I was getting healthier and more radiant. I could definitely see that, but the weight, I still struggle with that weight because of
Sure.
overeating.
And how old are you now?
I'm 33.
33. Now, you're
Yeah.
no longer in your country. Now you're in the United States.
Yeah.
What's brought you to the United States?
Actually, my relationship. so yeah, it's not like I wanted to go to United States. I didn't even know where Florida was, to be honest. So it wasn't my goal. Um, and and thinking back, I don't know if I would if I if I did it again. But it opened my eyes in many ways, and learning English and speaking English pretty good, much better than I did, has brought a lot of opportunities to my life. So that's great. And I love Florida. It's my favorite place in the world. It was really hard at the beginning to get used to all the American lifestyle. But I do love Florida. I do love sunshine.
From a diet standpoint, what difference did you know with the food in your country and the food in the United States? Did you notice an immediate difference, or is it pretty much the same processed stuff?
You know what? Every time I go back, I do notice much less ingredients on the food, on the packages, on the food packaging. So, and um, there's a lot of difference with the the basic ingredients like flour. It smells different. Like all these ingredients that I when I go back home and they use all these ingredients, I notice a difference. I notice the way things smell, the way things actually they look different to me. So yeah, I think it's because they don't use so many chemicals, and it's probably processed differently. Or I'm not really even sure why, but I can tell there's
You notice a difference.
yeah,
So
I do this difference.
in the United States, the raw food diet is still really not well known. Some people do it, and we know about it, but a lot of people don't, and they think it's crazy. In the Caribbean, there are a lot of old people that have been living on raw fruits and vegetables. They don't even know it. The Caribbean's like down in the islands. But what about your country? When you go back there, and the people you do tell that you're eating a high raw food diet, do they have no idea what that means, or do they understand what it means?
I do know some people who eat raw in Slovakia, and there are groups of those people. So it's still it's it's very little. It's not too many people. So yeah, of course, raw veganism is considered dieting and something not sustainable. Um, so just like America, I would say it's much better in America than Slovakia.
Much more well known. Okay.
Yeah.
So, give us an example of what your daily diet is like. What time do you get up and what do you eat?
Yeah, right now, I do travel a lot for work, so um, my kind of routine is not very consistent sometimes. But when I can have a routine, I do love to go sleep early. I can notice the difference between those hours of 9 and 2 o'clock, 10 and 2. If I get that sleep, I'm like ready to go at 4 or 5. But I love to have more sleep, especially as women. We do need more sleep. Um, eight at least 8 hours. I do enjoy that. I do feel better when I sleep more, but it's not like I need to, but I do feel better. So, and what I eat is usually I love to start my day with juice or smoothies. Right now I just had like 6 oranges because it's a little rainy outside. I wanted a little sunshine in my body, a feeling of sunshine. So I ate oranges. But I do love smoothies. I make smoothies. I love hemp seeds. I eat a lot of hemp seeds and chia seeds in the smoothies. And I love to have a nice big green salad as well.
Okay.
So at least 2 meals. Yeah.
So 2 meals a day, you're thinking?
2 meals and the snacks. The thing is, yeah, like, I'm not very, not, like, I would say I'm not very consistent. It depends. Like, especially as women, we have 4 personalities per month. It's very, very, hormonal based kind of. So I do let myself eat sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes I don't eat. Sometimes I eat 3 meals, 4 meals, or snacks, or something like that. Sometimes less. Sometimes I enjoy a bigger meal. So it really depends on where I am, um, with my um, with my body.
Sure, sure. Now, you've figured out how to help people with this. So you started an online coaching where you help people. Is it just to lose weight? Is it to go raw? What exactly are you helping people with?
The thing is, um, a lot of people want to be healthy and go raw, and a lot of people think that it's the issue of what they eat. And when we work together, then yeah, they start to eat raw and higher raw or vegan, and they do feel better, but they cannot lose weight because the issue is why they eat, and that's the emotional healing that needs to happen. Because if we cannot deal with the cravings and manage the cravings, which is like, what's the worst thing that can happen if you don't get into the craving? You're going to feel bad and emotional, feel uncomfortable. And it's the art of building the capacity to hold space for yourself, and not close the gap and go feel better real fast. But naturally, when you feel those emotions, the gap closes naturally and you feel better, but you don't have to make yourself feel better with food and addictions and all that. So working on building the capacity to feel, which is the main cause of why we overeat and have addictions. So emotional healing, and building the capacity to feel, and also figuring out why those emotions are there, because they hold informations that are very important, and like a life compass for you. So there's no one time when emotion is there for no reason. And it's beautiful to see those changes in people's life when they do that and know what to eat, and resolve the issues why they eat as well.
Do you think it's a challenge to be emotional and disciplined at the same time?
Well, we'll have to define discipline, I would say.
Well, discipline is being consistent at your goals, whereas emotions often take us away from that. So
It's
if
not
we
the
make up,
emotions that take us away from that. It's our inability to deal with them. Because if you are able to deal with those emotions and feel it and go through to that craving, that ignites discipline. You stick with your discipline, your goals, and your the rules you make for yourself. You don't just give in to your emotional eating. Um, Not dealing with emotions, that's what dismissing them, skipping and trying to avoid them, that's what's going to make you fall off your course and not be disciplined.
do you find men are more successful at eating a healthier diet than women, or do you not find that to be true?
I work mostly with women, I would say. So Um, um, and we do have to approach women, men and women are not the same. Different hormones, different functioning. Our cycle is different. You have 24 cycle, we have monthly cycle, 24 cycle, or yearly cycle. It's a lot different. So I think, well, I do work mostly with women, so I can only speak from that perspective. But um, I think women are a little more comfortable with the emotional side and dealing with emotions. So it's, I would say, easier for women. Um, but if if the issue is that just people just don't know what to eat and they start eating healthier and they feel better and they're able to do that, that's great. The issue was what they eat and they change that, and that's good. But if they're not able to eat healthier, the issue is why they eat, and that's the issue with emotions. So if the person, man or woman, um the issue with why they eat and the emotional healing needs to happen, then that's a different kind of story then. Yeah.
What about you? How do you handle your emotional state and deal with your emotions? What's been the trick to get you from being somebody who grew up overeating and being overweight and to now to seem to have overcome that? Uh, I don't know, do you struggle with it or is it no issue? How do you deal with your emotions when it comes to things like eating and just body image?
Yeah. um they're mowing grass here, right? So how do I deal with that? It's always, the better it gets, the better it gets. So it's like a peeling onion. So um, you get to the certain point when dealing with those emotions is not as scary, and you're more willing, more curious, so more open, and you connect with the body. So it doesn't take as long as it does at the beginning, because we're cut off our bodies, because we have to, as children, we have to do that as a survival mechanism to protect us. um, so now it's easier. The more you do that, of course it's easier. But as I go, I notice more and more coming up, and that's good. That's how it's supposed to be. But really good things, um, a really good thing to do to deal with those emotions is noticing and getting curious, not fighting it. So noticing the feelings in the body, and kind of relaxing that belly. We get so tight in the belly. You have so much tension in the body. So noticing that and breathing through it, and also journaling. That has been the biggest help, and building that capacity to feel.
Sure. And from a standpoint of health, you are a vegan. You don't eat any animals. Is that correct? Okay. Do you do it mostly for health reasons or ethical reasons for the animals, or both?
Well, now, as I, as you go further and longer on the vegan journey, I started because I was sick, and the reason for me was that health reason, and because I was sick. But the longer you're vegan, you start to feel for animals. You start to feel for not just animals, but everything. Everything has a right to live, to and live well. So it's the connection with the world, or the electricity, in the body, that gets much clearer when you eat raw. It clears up, and you feel more connected with the world and animals as well, everything. So of course I do feel for animals as well.
Sure. So besides diet and exercise, and you do exercise every day, right? Or on a regular basis?
Yeah, not every day, but I try to. Stretching is important for me. I do have exercise videos on my website as well, and so I do weightlifting. I don't do cardio. I would say I do weights and stretching, and a lot of lymphatic and fascia stretching, exercising, and I do that, doing that.
Okay. So besides exercise and diet from a veganism standpoint, how more conscious are you about it? Because vegan is really we put it towards diet, but it's really way beyond diet because most of us that call ourselves vegan aren't because we still have things in our lives that have animal tested and things like that. But to what degree do you take the vegan lifestyle?
I try to very seriously. Like if there's anything I'm not conscious of, I try to be very conscious. If there's anything I'm not conscious of, then I try to become conscious of that and get better at that as well. And I try to be conscious vegan as well. Um, but would I? It's not. I'm not a person that would go to streets and show the. I mean, show those posters with "Go Vegan" and stuff like that. I'm not that dedicated vegan, but I try to help with my scope of practice and scope of genius that I know how to help, which is health and diet. And that way, I try to contribute to the world in this way.
Do you take any supplements?
So I do like on and off, over these years, I have taken on supplements on and off, but I never really noticed any difference. So sometimes I do take protein powder like once or twice a year. But it's still, I don't notice that much difference. So maybe just for like the taste or into put that into my smoothies. I've never taken B12. I've never taken any other like supplements consistently. I think juicing is great supplement. Um, Juices and great salads, green salads, but like separate supplementing. I don't think I've taken anything consistently.
Do you monitor your blood work?
I haven't done that ever. So I haven't done my blood work done. I haven't had that done. I should probably, and I will. I plan on doing that because a lot of people ask me, so I should do that probably. Yeah, I will. I will let you know.
I definitely think it's a good idea because we could feel great no matter what we're doing in our diet, but the blood work really can confirm what we're doing. We're not missing anything. So when you did your fast, did you do any blood work around that when you were on your fast or after your fast?
No, we didn't do any blood work. I was checked every day by Laura and the blood pressure and all the blood sugar, and so we were monitored. But blood work, I didn't do any blood work. I was really into trusting my body, and maybe that's the reason why I'm doing okay. Not kind of questioning and doubting. So maybe that was a good thing. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. We'll find out.
Sure. Well, let me ask you, relationship wise, your relationship, does your partner eat the way you do?
So I did have relationships with non-vegans, even carnivores as well, and that just it doesn't go well. So I can do that. I do like to date people at least. Um, Being vegetarian, I can handle that. I just can't handle the animal, the meat. So yeah, at least that is the criteria. It has to be.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Well, where do you see yourself in, like, let's say, 10 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years. Okay, well, I'm getting older, but I'm not really because I feel better than ever, and I feel better every year, each year that I'm on this journey. So, and I look better each year, and I do feel better every year. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where I'm gonna be in 10 years. Um, and where do I see myself? I do dream of having my like fruit trees and being in a quieter place. I love quiet so much. So nature, quiet, growing my own food would be the best case scenario, right? fresh fruit from the tree is the best thing you can ever have and eat. So it would be ideal, but who knows? I don't know. We'll see. That would be the best thing.
Sure, sure. Well, on your website, you're helping people. You said you travel a lot for work. Do you do something else besides this, or are you doing this full time?
Yeah, I do other things with the administration and the businesses and helping out. And so I do work in other areas. So I do have to dress well and be in that world. But I would love to, my goal is to do what I absolutely love and I'm passionate about, which is helping people. And when I get there, when I can do that full time, I would absolutely love that. And I hope I will.
Sure. I'm going to put the link to your website below and your social media so people can contact you if they want to get in touch with you. What would be your message to people, especially young women out there that are struggling with losing weight and they're just confused about diet because there's so much information out there? What would your message be to them?
That's true. There's so much information out there. Having wrong information. If I had information that I have now, 12 years ago, I would probably didn't have to suffer so much. So having right information is definitely important. There's so much misconception about the food, dieting, and what emotions are and how to deal with them. So having right information is important. Definitely can help with that. Um, but also willingness. Like you have to be willing. You have to choose that consciously because being sick sucks. Being and the health journey sucks as well. So you have to choose that consciously. Consciously choosing that downside as well, along with that upside. Being healthy is great and feels great, but comes with the downside of it has to get messy before it gets better. I was just changing my bed yesterday. I was like, wow, I made so much mess. And I realized that's how it is with healing. So it does get messy before it gets better. And not be afraid of that. Trust the process. That's important, but it's all worth it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I want to encourage everybody to contact you and check out your social media. And I thank you so much for taking the time and joining me on here today.
Thank you so much, Paul. It was so amazing. Thank you so much. Love
Keep
it.
up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you. You as well.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.